Okay. So you can repeat behind me. This is a very famous shloka, which comes in every movie, serial, whatever it is. So shloka goes, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma. What happened? Uh, I couldn't get you. Hello. Uh,
Yeah.
you can recite behind me. It is Karmanyevadhikaraste
सर्वाधिकारस्ते
ma phaleshu kadachana
मा फलेषु कदाचन
ma karma phala heturbhur
मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूर्
ma te sango swakarmani.
मा ते सङ्गो सत्त्वकर्मी.
Yes, you can read the translation. Is it possible for you to read? I'm not able to hear you speaking.
Should I read that?
Yeah, that's what. You can start. You can read. Then let's see
I'll read
what we
that.
used to do. We used to have uh, the participants used to read the translation, the purport, and then they used to explain, or we used to discuss whatever the things were in. Okay,
Okay.
okay, you can read.
You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you're not entitled to the fruit of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So I should say the purpose of this, what does it mean?
No, you can go through purport also, and then you can share the purpose.
Okay. The three considerations here: prescribed duty, caprice work, and inaction. Prescribed duties are the activities enjoined in terms of one's acquired modes of material nature. Caprice work means action without the sanction of authority, and inaction means not performing one's prescribed duty. The Lord advised that Arjuna not to be inactive, but that he performs his prescribed duty without being attached to the result. One who is attached to the result of his work is also the cause of the action. Thus, he is the enjoyer or sufferer of the result of the action. As far as prescribed duties are concerned, they can be fitted into three subdivisions, namely routine work, emergency work, and desired activities. Routine works performed as an obligation in terms of the scriptural injunctions without desire for result is action in the mode of goodness. Work with result becomes the cause of bondage. Therefore, such work is not auspicious. Everyone has his priority right in regard to prescribed duties, but should act without attachment to the result. Such disinterested obligatory duties doubtless lead one to the path of liberation. Arjuna was therefore advised by the Lord to fight as the matter of duty without attachment to the result. His non participation in the battle is another side of attachment. Such attachment never leads one path to salvation. Any attachment, positive or negative, is cause for bondage. Inaction is sinful. Therefore, fighting as a matter of duty was the only auspicious path of salvation for Arjuna.
Yes. Now you can explain some points, whatever you understood or whatever you have some realization based on
Okay.
that.
So Arjuna says that he doesn't want to participate in the war against the Kauravas. So the Lord advised him to not be inactive in it because it is his duty to perform it without being attached to the result. Whatever the final outcome will be, he should do it because it is his duty, his prescribed duty, which he should do it. And he says not to get attached to the result so that it will be a cause because he is only the enjoyer or the sufferer of the result of such actions. So he's telling whatever work he is doing, he should do without any cause of bondage. So the work will won't be the work will be auspicious basically. So
Mhm.
he's told that you should. whatever, if he's not participating in the battle or the war, it's his path of also being attached to the another side of the battle. So he said, in order to get salvation, he should, whatever the result will be, he should participate in the war, because that's the way he'll get salvation. He'll be guided to the path of salvation.
Yeah, so a very beautiful point. Any action, any attachment, positive or negative, is cause for bondage, and inaction is all sinful also. Now here, there he mentioned about two types of works or two types of duties one performs. So one is prescribed duties. Prescribed duties are the one which are to be done by a individual jiva, individual soul, or we are supposed to do those things. So they are the activities which enjoined in terms of one's acquired mode of material nature. Here it is mentioned, right? Then second one is capricious work. Now this work means now we don't have a sanction from our superior authority, and still we are doing those things. Now that is capricious work. Now suppose a senior, in whatever terms it is, if he hasn't told you to do those things and you're still doing, that comes under this work. And the inaction means not performing the one's prescribed duty. And now Arjuna here was into full inaction. So his prescribed duty is to fight as a Kshatriya, but he wasn't. So he was going against his prescribed duty. So, so it is inaction, and inaction is sinful. So that's why Krishna is advising Arjuna to fight. And again, the subdivision of the prescribed duties are done into three categories, namely routine work, emergency work, and desired activities. Right? Routine work means sadhana, which is spiritual injunctions. Now that is done without desires of the fruits, and of course in the mode of goodness. Sadhana is done in the mode of goodness. Now, when we desire for results, and then we are working. So, for example, while uh, while us working studying for JEE mains or JEE advanced, we were having a desire, or say we were having a result oriented study to get into IIT, get into NIT. So that result is also a cause of bondage, as mentioned here. So Krishna is advising that you work, Arjuna, but don't get attached to anything. So result जो आया वो ठीक है, but you have to work. That's what. Don't be inactive. And even our NIT logo is the work is worship. It says like that, right? So I hope it was clear. This was. We'll move to the next verse now, which is Bhagavad Gita 2.48. Yeah,
There's
someone
a
can
quote
recite.
in Kannada, Kayakave Kailasa. I guess the last para kind of says about it.
Uh, is there any verse in Kannada?
Kayakave Kailasa.
Can you recite? I don't know. Like I haven't read your.
Okay. Kayakave Kailasa means whatever the work you do, whatever the duty you perform, you will reach Kailasa, like that. You will reach
Yeah, yeah,
salvation.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
there in NITK, that thing, no? Logo.
Yeah.
The logo or
Yeah.
some slogan is there of NITK. So the director was
Bhakti is right.
reciting it in
Mm.
the ceremony, ring ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next sloka. You can recite behind me. Yogastha kuru karmani संघम त्यक्त्वा धनम जया सिद्धा असिद्ध्यो समो भूता समात्वम योग उच्यते. Yes, maybe Sneha can read.
Translation. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna. Abandoning all attachment to success or failure, such equanimity is called yoga. Purport. Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga is the concept upon the sky and the ever-disturbing. And who is the Supreme? The Supreme is the Lord. And because he himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has nothing to do with the results of the fight. Gain or victory are Krishna's concern. Arjuna is simply advised to act according to the dictation of Krishna. The following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga, and this is practiced in the process called Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness only can one give up the sense of proprietorship. One has to become the servant of Krishna or the servant of Krishna. That is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness, which alone can help one act in yoga. Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and as such he is participating in Varnashrama Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Purana that in the Varnashrama Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself as is the rule in the material world, but one should satisfy Krishna. So unless one satisfies Krishna, one cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnashrama Dharma. Indirectly, Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told him.
Yes.
Krishna is
Anything?
telling Arjuna that he should act in yoga. Yoga is like concentrating upon the supreme thing, and that supreme thing was Lord Himself, Krishna. So, as Krishna is only advising Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has to fight. He should not think about the consequences of failing and winning in the war.
And here at the last point, he has said, what is the purpose of Varnashrama Dharma? That day we discussed what is Varnashrama Dharma. So the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. But in any family, if Krishna or Vishnu is not the center of the family, then obviously the ego of the members are the center of the family. And at that time, clashes starts. So clashes between brothers,
Satisfy
clashes between, sorry, uh, you want to share anything?
He has to work according to Krishna. He should satisfy Krishna.
Yeah, that is the yoga of Krishna consciousness. And the word yoga here, Prabhupada explains what yoga is. Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the supreme by controlling the ever disturbing senses. So the exact meaning of the word yoga is to connect with the divine. And but nowadays we see people are just thinking yoga as something related to stretching, something related to bodily health, but they are not conscious of this real meaning of yoga, which is to connect with the divine. And that's what indirectly means, that to concentrate our mind with on supreme by controlling the senses, all our senses which are ever disturbing, right? So a person who has given up all the attachment of success and failure, and in such equality or equanimity, that person does yoga. All right. So even karma yoga, which is abandoning the, or say not abandoning, not being attached, or say being detached to the fruits of action, fruits, that is karma yoga, or say nishkama karma yoga. Okay, any doubt till here? Okay, we'll start then with the next one. We'll decide दुरेनाय वरम कर्मा बुद्धियोगा धनंजय बुधौ शरणम अन्विच्छा कृपणा फलहेतवाः. Okay, since we three are there, now I'll read this one. Other people are busy in ring ceremony. I also joined them at 8:30. I'll read. O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. Purport: one who has actually come to the understanding, come to understand one's constitutional position as an eternal servitor of the Lord, gives up all engagement save working in Krishna consciousness. As already explained, Buddhi Yoga means transcendental loving service to the Lord. Such devotional service is the right course of action for the living entity. Only misers desire to enjoy the fruits of their own work just to be further entangled in the material bondage. Except for work in Krishna consciousness, all activities are abominable because they continually bind the worker to the cycle of birth and death. One should therefore never desire to be the cause of the work. Everything should be done in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of Krishna. Misers do not know that how to utilize the asset of riches which they acquire by good fortune or by hard labor. One should spend all energies working in Krishna consciousness, and that will make one's life successful. Like misers, unfortunate persons do not employ their human energy in the service of the Lord. So here, Krishna is saying to Arjuna, again he says Dhananjaya. In last verse also he says Dhananjaya. Now, these activities are to be kept away from the main purpose of the life, which is devotional service. Okay, or or engage these activities in devotional service. Now, the people who wants to enjoy the fruits of their action. So, whatever action we does, for example, we studied well, we got placed, and we got money as a fruit of our action, and then we start enjoying with that money. Enjoying in terms of material world is drinking, smoking, or any other thing. And now when we start engaging in those things, then we are actually enjoying the fruits of our action, and that therefore we are misers. Instead, what we can do is suggested here in the Buddhi Yoga. It comes, Krishna says in chapter 10.10, what is Buddhi Yoga? That is the conclusion of Buddhi Yoga. So, conclusion of Buddhi Yoga, the highest form of the Buddhi Yoga is Bhakti Yoga itself. So, here this is that devotional service is the right course of action. So, in devotional service means bhakti. We are performing some devotion towards Lord, but we are neither attached nor detached. So that is a karma, which is not counted under any karma, and that's why does not bind us to the cycle of birth and death. Whereas the activities which we do in this material world for the sake of getting some results actually binds us in this world. So this is what the purport is trying to say us. Now, some like misers, some unfortunate people are also there, which do not employ their energy in the service of the Lord. Instead, they are busy in their passionate mode of finding out for something in this material world. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. This was 2.49. We'll recite this next one. What's the time? 25. Okay. Now, here Krishna is saying, Buddhi yukto jahatiha उभे सुकृत दुष्कृते तस्माद्योगय युजुस् युज्यस्व कर्मसु कौशल योग कर्मसु कौशलम. Yes, again, you can read the translation. We'll start in round 30.
Translation. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the act of all good. Since purpose, since time immemorial, each living entity has accumulated the various reactions of his good and bad work. As such, he is continuously ignorant of his real constitution.
Real constitutional position. Are you able to hear her, Kaveri? I don't know who the network issue is.
Yeah. Hello.
Is she audible?
Yeah. Now she is not audible.
No, there was connection problem actually.
Okay, you can continue with the purport. Okay, from
Okay.
here itself, starting.
But since time immemorial, each living entity has accumulated the various reactions of his good and bad work. As such, he is continuously ignorant of his real constitutional position. One's ignorance can be removed by the instruction of the Bhagavad Gita, which teaches one to surrender unto Lord Sri Krishna in respects and become liberated from the chained victimization of action and reaction, birth after birth. Arjuna is therefore advised to act in Krishna consciousness, the purifying process of resultant action.
Yeah. Would you like to share some points?
It was not so clear to me.
Okay, so here Krishna is saying that the one who is engaging in the devotional service, he gets rid of all good and bad reaction, as I said in the last purport as well. So he is not, he's doing akarma actually. There are three types of karma: vikarma, akarma, and one more was there, I forgot. So vikarma is doing activities which binds us in the material nature again. Akarma means doing activities which does not bind or which are not having any yeah, again the bondage in the further. So therefore strive for yoga, which is the art of all. Now that yoga, we saw what is the meaning of yoga in the last one. Okay, and now all the living entities here, we in this material world, we are all being binded again and again, and due to being in the mode of ignorance, we are not able to even come or get to the knowledge that we are being bounded in this cycle. So to diminish this ignorance, we have to take instructions from Bhagavad Gita, surrender to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, and then one can attain that liberated state, which is getting rid of the action and reaction cycle. That is birth after birth we are going on. There are two types of karmas. One is sanchita karma and one is prarabdha karma. Now, sanchit karma is like you can say a tank which is full of water, and prarabdha karma is like a bucket which you take after from a tank. So every life, whatever lifetime we are living in every life we are going through prarabdha karma. So whatever success or whatever amount of money one is going to earn, or whatever amount of fame one is going to earn in this lifetime is already destined through prarabdha karma. So the timing can change, but the quantity will be same. Now, here, if one does excessive hard work, excessive labor, and then tries to earn more, then he has to spend somewhere to balance out. So, for example, you can take this example. A person who was working in IT company, he was working for 8 hours, and the boss was paying him 40,000 rupees per month. Then the boss said to him that you're working very nicely, but if you work 12 hours a day instead of 8 hours, I will give you 50,000 rupees. And then he thought it's a good deal. And he started working for that extra 10,000. And after 2 months of working, the his neck started paining, neck and back both started paining. And then that person went to the doctor, and the doctor said you have a gap between your bones. Say there are bones which are connecting backbone, which are connecting our neck, head and backbone. So there is a gap between those two bones. So you have to visit our hospital daily, and monthly charges of our hospital is 10,000 rupees. So whatever extra he earned was being taken away by doctor, or say nature has arranged that if he is destined to get 40,000 and if he work extra and get 50,000, anyway 10,000 are going to be taken away from him. So this is a law of karma or say destiny. All right. So yeah, this was it for today. Any doubts still here? We'll start from 2.51 from tomorrow.
Will we be having classes even in the April 1st to 8th? Like,
You'll be having your entrance, no? Uh,
yeah.
yeah, so is it possible for you to join for half an hour daily, or it will be too much? Or maybe I can record because some of the final year students said that they will be available to attend the classes. So
Okay.
I can record and send. You can watch at your own time.
Fine.
Fine, no? Or else giving a half an hour is not a big deal. Like I feel maybe you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
while eating food or something you can watch this, right?
I don't know that final years are not having exam.
Yeah, they are having exams, but they said they can take out half an hour.
Okay, fine.
If it's possible for you, it's fine. Or I'll send the recordings also. So whenever you get time, you can watch it on 1.5x, 2x, whatever it is.
Yesterday's record. Okay.
Yeah, fine, no?
Yesterday's recording.
Oh, yesterday's. I haven't uploaded yet. I'll upload it by today. Today I'll upload and send the links in the group. Okay.
Yeah, fine. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining today. We'll meet tomorrow. Jai Sri Krishna.